I would say this, that DRBU is not just a series of courses, nor even simply a philosophical way of thinking, but it's a way of being a person. The faculty feels that we are not just teaching courses, we're teaching and relating to people. You will not be just taking courses, but you'll be in a transformative place where you're getting to know yourself and transform yourself through this process. The famous French philosopher Pierre Hadot put it this way. He said, this kind of learning is not just studying philosophy, it is philosophy as a way of life. And so what we're trying to do is, in our way, is to get away from this idea of what higher education has become as divided learning, divided knowledge, where the curriculum is fragmented to increasingly unrelated disciplines and subdisciplines, and more importantly, where the student, him or herself, is left divided. Mind, body, intellect, emotion, fact, value, matter, spirit, these splitting ups of our identity and awareness, to the point where many, if not most students, can actually graduate today without any meaningful vision or sense of purpose. Or worse, any compass by which to find such a purpose. So embodied learning tries to reverse this trend, and I would say higher education now and modern life, kind of characterized by an absence of a coherent ethical code, and then this problem of a fragmented sense of being, and then a lack of a meaningful sense of purpose in one's life, and also then the ability to form genuine community, to socially relating. And so I would think, maybe I would say it may not be for everybody. It's a niche approach. It is very ancient and very modern at the same time. This is not something, new under the sun, but it's a reenactment or a revitalization of something that held sway for a long time of what it meant to be a full and educated person. And it may be the only chance you have in your entire life to slow down, to read deeply, to listen to yourself, to think things over, and maybe set or reset your lives on a meaningful course. Obviously, the reading part is huge. We're using largely classical text in both the undergraduate and graduate program, because we find these to be addressing the abiding questions of humanity. They're both timely and timeless. But I will just give you two quotes to end from two people you might know. The first quote on this is from James Baldwin, the famous American Black author. And he said, "You think your pain and your heartbreak are unprecedented in the history of the world, but then you read. It was books that taught me that the things that tormented me most were the very things that connected me with all people who were alive and who had ever been alive." And then finally, a quote that I like from Maya Angelou. She says, "When I look back, I'm so impressed again with the life-giving power of literature. If I were a young person today trying to gain a sense of myself in the world, I would do that again by reading, just as I did when I was young."